How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Set 6, and today we're going to be talking about something we've not spoke about for a little while on the channel, Final Fantasy IX. Now, I know you all remember the rumours and the leaks and everything like that, but things have started heating up again over the last few days, so we're going to cover what we know so far, what kind of information we've got, and how likely I think it is that we're going to get anything anytime soon. Also, we'll briefly touch on another thing as well, which is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth DLC, because I've seen a little bit of chat about that, and if we're going to hear about things, it's going to be over the course of the next couple of weeks probably, because we've got Summer Games Fest, we've got loads of things going on. So this is the time of the year where we will hear something if we are going to. So let's have a look into it. Also, just because the last two videos haven't been chapter breakdowns of Rebirth, don't think I'm finished with them. Chapter 4 is going to be coming very, very soon, like within the next week. PC's causing me some issues, but a lot of the new components for the new PC have turned up now, so in about a week and a half time I'll be able to finally get the new PC built, and then all of these problems will be in the past. Excellent. Anyway, like the video, subscribe for future content, let's go. So we'll start off with FF7 Rebirth, because it's the quick and easy thing. I've seen a lot of people talking about, is there going to be a DLC for Rebirth, are we going to get more, how are they going to fit everything that's left into one game? And like, the last one's a very valid question, and we'll be doing a video talking about that in the near future. But as far as DLC goes for Rebirth, I don't know, I don't think so, to be honest with you. I mean, Nomura pretty much said it outright previously that the only DLC was going to be the Yuffie DLC for Remake, and then that was it. But you know we don't like to listen to people when they tell us things, we ignore that. And the possibility of a DLC for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is tantalising. The only place I could really think a DLC would be in the Temple of the Ancients, and we'd get to control Vincent. That's pretty much all I've got for DLC. So let me know in the comments below your ideas for DLC. I don't think any DLC that we get will progress the story. I don't think anything that we could get will continue the story forwards. It will be something that will have happened already in the story that we've gone through. The only thing that stands out is when Vincent is finding an escape route for us in the Temple of the Ancients, because he does conveniently pop up at the right moment, ready to go. How did he find that route? Now, if that's the case, the DLC won't be big, it'll be a short one probably, unless there are other moments where Vincent's kind of broken away from the group and we get to cover him there. We do see him wander off a few times, like when we reach Costa del Sol and things like that, so it's possible. But anyway, let me know what your thoughts are for a DLC as far as Final Fantasy VII Rebirth goes in the comments below. Now, Final Fantasy IX. We have talked about this many times on the channel, we've had a lot of rumours about this, and it all started with that Nvidia leak back in the day. And that Nvidia leak has been proven correct repeatedly. But the thing that was in there with Final Fantasy IX Remake was a Final Fantasy Tactics remaster. And that has been wiped out completely. Like, all hopes of that are gone. We have been told outright there is no Tactics remaster in the works. Whether or not that was something that came about because Square Enix, obviously as you've all seen recently, Square Enix aren't the happiest with like the money they've been making and the games, the performance of the games, so they're kind of changing their focus and restructuring a little bit. Maybe the Tactics remaster was a victim of that, I'm not too sure, but we have been told outright it's not coming. But, like I say, many other things on the Nvidia leak have been confirmed and have turned out to be true, and we have had multiple people that have come out, like insiders, leakers, that have come out and said FF9 Remake. And the reason why a lot of this stuff has kind of kicked up again over the last few days is because on Twitter we did have an update from a leaker known as Midori, and they've said that the Final Fantasy IX Remake is still in development. But it has had a few setbacks, which is why we've not really heard much about it. Now in their tweet they say that the Final Fantasy IX Remake is still in development. It is a title that was not cancelled in the restructure of Square Enix during this fiscal year, which, like I say, was something that I was a bit worried about with Tactics Remaster. Now continuing on, they say according to conversations the title was originally outsourced to another developer, but Square Enix was not satisfied and development shifted. Development of the title is now very far along, but they don't have any firm information on the scope of the title or a firm release period right now. This title could release before the end of this fiscal year, but I am not certain right now. So there you have it, that's the thing that's kind of kicked off everybody's interest again, because a few months ago, everyone was kind of down on it and kind of like, is it actually happening? Because we'd had complete radio silence for the whole time. Now, if they have had development issues with changing developers and things like that, and the obvious restructuring at Square Enix that's been going on, which we will talk about in a video at some point, I'm just kind of letting the dust settle on that and seeing where everything lands. Because it's an interesting one. We'll talk about it. We will talk about it at some point. But yeah, the fact that it's had all of this going on in the background kind of explains why the 9 remake might have took a backseat while things like 16 and Rebirth and everything like that came out last year. And that's possibly why we haven't heard anything about the 9 remake yet. But apparently that is all potentially going to change over the course of the next few days. So with Square's new strategy of kind of opening out to multi-platforms, Octopath Traveler 1 and 2 have both just been released. Octopath 1 on PlayStation and Octopath Traveler 2 has gone to Xbox. So if you've not played those games, check them out. And if you are checking those games out, check out my guide video that I've done for Octopath Traveler 2. I'm going to try and get one done for Octopath Traveler 1 soon. Maybe. But with Square Enix taking that approach, it means that the possibility for us to see Final Fantasy games announced at Xbox events potentially has gone up. And apparently Square Enix are going to be at the Xbox Games Showcase on June the 9th. Whether or not Final Fantasy IX is going to be a part of that, we're not too sure. But with Final Fantasy IX rearing its head again, all the talk going on, this new approach from Square Enix, it is possible. Like, Square Enix have got a bit of a quiet time now. All of the big games that they've had coming are out. We kind of know that there's not going to be any Kingdom Hearts 4 stuff because Jeff Keighley was doing a podcast and Kingdom Hearts 4 came up and he essentially was like, oh, they're expecting Kingdom Hearts 4. Oh, oofed. So that kind of killed that one. Although a lot of people have been taking the copium and saying, oh, he's just doing this to distract us. It's a bait and switch. Yeah, it's going to be there. It's going to be there. It's probably not going to be there based on that. But does this mean that Final Fantasy IX could be the big thing that Square Enix show off over the course of the next 4 or 5 days? Because we're right into it now. Summer Games Fest is tomorrow. We've got Future Game Show on Saturday. We've got the Xbox Showcase on Sunday. So this weekend is where everything's going to happen, and we need to keep our eyes open for that. I might actually watch an Xbox Showcase just in case Final Fantasy IX Remake does drop. Crazy times. But yeah, this is the first bit of news that we've had about the Final Fantasy IX Remake. And it's not news, it's rumours, but it's the first bit of anything that we've had regarding the Final Fantasy IX Remake in quite a while. So it's interesting that it's popped up now. Keep an eye on things over the course of the next few days. We may get this Final Fantasy IX Remake after all. And if it does release later on in this year, early next year, it would be the perfect thing just to tide us over until Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments below anyway. Do you think it's going to happen? Do you think it's just all a load of nonsense? Do you think we're going to get Final Fantasy VII Rebirth DLC? Do you think you're going to play Octopath Traveler 1 and 2 now? I think you should. They're amazing. Especially Octopath 2. Octopath 2 is on a completely different level. 1's great, but 2, woof. Anyway, like the video, subscribe for future content, keep an eye out for the next Rebirth chapter breakdown, like I say, probably over the course of the next week. But more importantly than all of that, have a great day.